Hello everyone. Hope you enjoyed these sessions on what makes a leader. Today, we are going to talk about the importance of trust. Trust is the foundation of effective leadership. Leaders who demonstrate integrity, transparency, and consistency cultivate an environment where people feel valued and safe to contribute ideas and take risks. Building trust requires active listening, following through on commitments, and showing empathy towards team members, challenges, and perspectives. It's critical for a leader to build trust within the team. Leaders who build trusting relationships within their team feel comfortable with the group. They are willing to consider alternative viewpoints and to utilize other people's expertise and abilities. While substantial levels of trust may not be required in routine situations, trust is almost always needed when leaders are accomplishing extraordinary things, especially in crisis situations. Honesty and candor go a long way in building that. Trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, personal, professional, and societal. It is the confidence one places in another's integrity, ability, and intentions. Built over time through consistent actions, honesty, and reliability, trust fosters cooperation, reduces fear, and strengthens bonds. In its presence, communication flows, cooperation thrives, and conflict is resolved more constructively. Trust is both fragile and powerful. A single betrayal or broken promise can damage it deeply, requiring time and effort to rebuild. Yet, when nurtured, it can create resilience through times of uncertainty and stress. In organizations, the trust between leaders and employees enhances morale, innovation, and performance. In communities, it encourages solidarity and civic engagement. Trust also involves vulnerability, the willingness to rely on others without complete control or certainty. This leap of faith is what makes it so human and so essential. To cultivate trust, one must be transparent, admit mistakes, follow through on commitments, and treat others with respect. Ultimately, trust is not just about believing in others, it's about being trustworthy ourselves. The experience of the leader and detailed information and planning of a venture lends credibility to a leader. Also, a sense of humor and light-hearted conduct in stressful situations can dissipate stress and foster trust. In a crisis, the decisions must be taken in real time. Discussions within the team go a long way in building trusting relationships and environment. Bounded optimism complements trust by balancing positivity with realism. While excessive optimism can lead to denial of challenges, bounded optimism encourages leaders to remain hopeful yet grounded. It involves acknowledging difficulties honestly while inspiring confidence in the team to overcome them. Leaders practicing bounded optimism frame problems as opportunities for growth, setting a tone of resilience and forward momentum. Together, trust and bounded optimism create a powerful leadership dynamic. Trust ensures credibility and psychological safety, while bounded optimism fuels motivation and perseverance. The leader must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they may be. Witnessing this philosophy of duality, author Jim Collins went on to describe it as Stockdale paradox. The name refers to Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was the highest ranking military officer in the Hanoi Hilton POW camp during the height of Vietnam War. Tortured over 20 times during his 8-year imprisonment from 1965 to 73, Stockdale lived out the war without any prisoner's rights, no set release date, and no certainty as to whether he would survive to see his family again. He shouldered the burden of command, doing everything he could to create conditions that would increase the number of prisoners who would survive unbroken. During the interview with Stockdale by Jim Collins, Stockdale said, "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never doubted not only that I would get out, but also that I would prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life, which in retrospect I will not trade." On being asked the question, who didn't make it out? He said, the optimists, the ones who said, we are going to be out by Christmas, we are going to be out by Easter, and then we are going to be out by Thanksgiving. They died of a broken heart. The most effective leaders in crisis are brutally honest about the situation, which is facts. They offer a rational basis for optimism, which is hope, and an emotional understanding for their team, which is empathy. Honesty and candor promote trust, and reasoned optimism about the future gives confidence and hope. It has been established that the key elements of greatness are simple and straightforward. Great leaders can strip away so much noise and clutter and just focus on the few things that have the greatest impact. They were able to do so in large part because they operated on both sides of the Stockdale paradox, never letting one side overshadow the other. If you can adopt this dual pattern, you will dramatically increase the odds of making good decisions. Let me end with a quote from the celebrated author Stephen M.R. Covey. "Without trust, we don't truly collaborate. We merely coordinate, or at best cooperate. It is trust that transforms a group of people into a team." Finally, a question for all of you. According to you, what's the best example of a leader who trusted his people and succeeded? Please give your answer in the comment section. See you after a fortnight. Thank you.